Welcome back, folks. Today, we got a bit of a hot topic. We're going to do something a bit different, but nonetheless, it should be entertaining. We're going to talk about Juan Soto as it relates to the New York Yankees and how this may eventually affect our New York Mets. All right, well, this is going to be a very probably controversial, and I don't mean it in a controversial way. I actually grew up admiring and wanting to be the Yankees. But in the last 10 to 14, 15 years, the Yankees just haven't been the same. They've been making a lot of, I would say, silly moves. So, latest thing that I saw yesterday, I was watching the MLB Network, and they were talking about Mr. Juan Soto. And they asked Steve Phillips, if you were the Yankees, would you trade Jason Dominguez for Juan Soto? And then Steve Phillips goes, of course, that's where it has to start. It has to start. And then the other guy goes, oh, but what if you're in the Yankees' shoes? Then he goes, well, I was in the Yankees' shoes. I traded guys away for Mike Piazza. I traded guys away for Al Leiter. And then I said, hey, you know what? I got to sign my guy in order for the move to be justified, right? Okay, so then I actually was watching the video and I saw it on YouTube. So I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Let's see what some of the Yankee fans are saying. How are the Yankee fans responding? I'm sure the Yankee fans want Juan Soto. He seems to be the perfect Yankee. Hopefully the Yankees don't screw it up. But if they do screw it up, I'm like, okay, come over to the Mets. We got money. We got some resources. We'll take them if you guys screw up this deal. So I'm pretty sure the Yankee fans are going to like, hey, you know what? Let's do whatever it takes to acquire this man. Okay, a very important or very significant comment stood out as one of the biggest comments in the comment section. I thought this comment was amazing. So the Yankee fan goes, Jason Dominguez has to be in the deal or it's not happening. That's in quotations. I would simply laugh and hang up the phone. San Diego are the ones under the gun. Move the asset or lose the asset for nothing. Can't play him either. They have basically the Yanks can just trade a bunch of junk for him. I gotta say, this is one of the dumbest, most arrogant statements I've ever seen. One of the dumbest, most arrogant. The Yankees aren't the only team in baseball. They're not. They're not the only team with money. They're not the only team with assets. It is stupid. And that is the type of mindset Brian Cashman has had the last 10 years. You want me to read you some of the prospects that could have went toward a guy like Juan Soto in the last 10 years that the Yankees held on to? You had Greg Bird, Clint Frazier, Gary Sanchez at one point, Miguel Andujar, James Caprillion, Estevan Florial, although he's still in the minors, Jorge Mateo, Justice Sheffield, Blake Rutherford, even Davey Garcia, and the list goes on and on. These were all guys in the last 7, 8, 9 years that you could have put in a package for a guy of high level performance, and you hold on to these prospects. You know what? I gotta say something, and I really hope to God the Yankees screw this up, right? And this is a guy who I want the Yankees to succeed, and I want the Mets to succeed. I want a town where you have New York versus New York. I want another 2000 World Series, but I just don't understand the logic. Now let me tell you something. If the Yankees don't do this trade, you have other teams who can do this trade, folks. There's other teams, especially that have prospects. Baltimore, they have the most prospects in the major leagues. They were phenomenal last year. If they decide, hey, I'm going to target this guy, they have the prospects. Boston, they've been hoarding prospects. They can make this trade. The Mets can make this trade. There's so many big market teams who have the prospects, can make this trade. The Yankees aren't the only team. So I really hope to God that they hold tight. All right? I don't know whether it be Jason Dominguez, Spencer Jones, the other top prospects that, they hold on to, Everson Peraza, Chase Hampton, Drew Thorpe, whoever San Diego wants. And if the Yankees clutch their fists and say, no, you only get one guy or nothing, that's fine, because the Yankees are looking at it like it's going to be a one-year contract. Fools! If you trade for Juan Soto, you're trading for him. You're trading for him to sign him, all right? I'm telling you this right now. If the Mets trade for Juan Soto, the number one goal is to sign the... Okay? And you know what? Juan Soto to the Yankees should be much more valuable than any other team. That is the damn perfect player for the Yankees. Lefty in Yankee Stadium, you have been lacking that bat forever. You have been lacking that bat for a very long time. And you know what? Okay, maybe you don't want to give Jason Dominguez, but then you put another superior package. But to simply dismiss it and say, hey, we can give San Diego a bunch of garbage, that San Diego, and just disregard the whole MLB, to disregard every single team in baseball? It is laughable. The arrogance is laughable. And that's the arrogance that Brian Cashman has had the last 9 years. Like, hey, you take my deal or no deal. Okay, it's been no deal. And the Yankees have hoarded their prospects, and the Yankees haven't won, right? And they haven't won. And I know you're hearing this from a Met fan, and you know, like, you think I'm trying to bash the Yankees. No, I grew up, I had a brother very close in age, Yankee fan. We went back and forth, and I loved the teams in the 90s. I loved staying up late. I wanted the Yankees to win. Jeter was one of my favorite players growing up. I wish he was on the Mets, but it's just so sad. I wanted to be the Yankees, and right now I'm so happy that we are not the Yankees. I cannot believe the 360 that has happened in the Bronx. All Yankee fans should be irate. Irate. Okay? You should be expecting the world, Steve Cohen and the New York Mets. My team shouldn't be taking over the town. And I can tell if the Mets, and this is why I have been advocating for Shohei Ohtani, because I want the Mets to take over the town and leave no doubt that we are the superior franchise. We will go after the number one players. We will build a dynasty and a legacy from now and into the future. I want to have a place where players come to and think of the New York Mets as that number one franchise. And the Yankees are opening the door for us. They are saying, New York Mets, step right up. We are done for business. The Yankees are done. The Yankee way is over. And you know what? Good. I will take it. I will take Mr. Juan Soto. If it takes the Mets giving up a number one, a prospect in our top 4 or 5, you know what? Juan Soto. If the guy becomes a Juan Soto, he won't become a Juan Soto. Juan Soto's a top 3 player in the game. He's going to be probably a future Hall of Famer. He's only 24, 25 years old right now. Oh my God, the sky's the limit for Juan Soto. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. And that comment that I saw, and whatever, I respect everybody's opinion, but it just got so many likes. It was the number one comment. So there are a lot of Yankee fans subscribing to the fact that I'd rather have my unknowns than have Juan Soto. Already you're saying that Jason Dominguez is better than Juan Soto. That's what you're saying already. And you know what? The dismissiveness is just not going to get you nowhere. So New York Mets, Steve Cohen, please don't have that philosophy. Have your ears open at all time. Explore. Know that it's MLB baseball is not easy. There's a lot of competition. There are a lot of teams with money. There are a lot of teams with prospects. There are a lot of GMs who are intelligent. There are a lot of scouts who are intelligent. We are not the only game in town. So that means we have to be better. We have to be better than everybody else. We have to be prepared. We have to just do things in a different way, but in a better way. And that's how we're going to be better. The way Atlanta does business, the way Tampa does business, the way now Baltimore's doing business. There's a lot of up-and-coming teams. Arizona's an up-and-coming team. Obviously Texas, they haven't won in the past. They've just won. There's a lot of game in town now. There's a lot of teams. Not to mention you got LA. They're always in the running. They're always doing things right. Boston is rebuilding their entire franchise. They're loading their franchise up with prospects. There's a lot of competition out there in New York. And for you to have that arrogant approach, like take it or leave it, no, it's not going to work. 15 years ago, when you were the only team with money, the only team with a payroll, you can have that approach. You can have that attitude. You can get those players and hoard those prospects. But now it's completely different. And Brian Cashman has to do business different. He can't have that arrogant attitude like he's been having. And, like I said, this is coming from a Met fan. I apologize. I don't want to offend anyone, but this is just... I'm coming from a person who used to admire and respect the Yankees and want to be the Yankees, have George Steinbrenner as my owner. That's what I wanted. Now, there's a countless, endless amount of franchise where I'd rather them be my owner, be my franchise. The Yankees have fallen so far, really. And just folks who, I appreciate everybody who's watching this. If the video's lagging, I apologize. We're getting a new system very shortly. If you could like and subscribe, show your appreciation for the video and the channel, I can't say thank you enough. Okay, but I just want to give you just a little perspective. So the Yankees have always been like a top 3 payroll. But in terms of prospects, I want to look at the most recent prospect rankings. So it had number 1 team, Baltimore, was number 1. This was, I think, 2 months ago. They did the prospect rankings. Baltimore was dominant last year, and they still have the most prospects. Number 2 was Chicago. Number 3 was Boston. So already 2 teams in the American League East ahead of the Yankees. Then you had the Mets. So this is all in the region of the Yankees. So, I mean, for fans not to realize you have all these teams around you with resources and money, you can't be that oblivious. Brewers were 5. Texas Rangers are 6. They just won the World Series, and they have the 6th most prospects. Number 7 is Tampa. So, I mean, this is crazy. The Yankees and Yankee fan, the AL East, not only are they have talented teams, their teams have all prospect list ranking in the top 10. I mean, it is just insane. I'm looking to see where the Blue Jays are ranked. Let's see. And I'm on Bleacher Report for everybody who wants to know where I'm getting this information. On this list are 16, but you have Tampa, you have Baltimore, and you have Boston, who all have superior prospects according to Bleacher Report. Now, I think the Blue Jays are the only team that doesn't have a farm system that's higher than the Yankees, but the Blue Jays could spend nonetheless. They could put a package together. They have more of their talent at the MLB level already. And the Blue Jays, to give them credit, they haven't been afraid to pull the trigger. They really haven't. They haven't been afraid to pull the trigger in the past. So, yeah, the Blue Jays are ranked number 25. All right, so that's my quick rant on the Yankees. And just, if the Yankees don't do the right thing, I think they're number 1 favorite, or should be favored, to get Juan Soto. But if it slips through their hands, it's going to go to another team like the Mets. Could go to the Red Sox. If Baltimore decides to spend, don't count these other teams out, especially these smart analytical teams that are waiting for the right. They don't spend money on willy-nilly on anybody, but they are waiting for that right pitcher, that right hitter. Just like Yamamoto's 24, 25 years old, you have so many teams interested because that is a scenario that doesn't happen every year. When was the last time a 24-year-old guy with this type of stuff was on the free agent market? I don't think it really ever happens because, you have to be 19 years old to really dominate, and then you're a free agent. I mean, not too many pitchers 19 years old. Hitters, it's a little more common, but, not many hitters as well. Bryce Harper, Juan Soto, those are just a few guys, to name a few. I believe Mike Trout came in, but then he was signed pretty early by the Angels. But that's what I'm saying. Other teams are going to identify Juan Soto, and they're going to present packages to San Diego. Are they going to is San Diego going to get the package that they traded for him a couple years ago? No, obviously not. But they are going to get a very good package. They're not going to get garbage. That's the bottom line. Again, you can like and subscribe. We're going to be covering hot stove. But you know what? From once in a while, I want to start covering these hot topics because they get emotion out in the fans, and it gets emotion out in me. So thank you so much for sticking around. And again, I don't mean to offend anybody. It's just my opinion. I do still admire the team in the Bronx. I just don't admire the way they do business lately. Have a great day. With the Mets, can't get any worse. Probably will. It's a normal saying. Just got to keep saying. Have a great day, folks. Bye.